Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day as per usual. And let's get right into the analysis here. Actually, good a bit. It was an interesting day. Today we had a good a bit. A good bit of price action in terms of like pretty much a pump and then a reversal back down. We'll be covering some stocks. A lot of stocks actually hit my targets, like Roku and PayPal, and we'll take a look at those in just a few moments. PayPal actually had a really strong reversal after hitting the sell area. We actually tagged it to the basically like to the penny, and then it reversed back down. But let's take a look at the IWM first. We'll start off with the small caps as per usual. The most interesting trade probably at the moment, right today. So we got pretty much a nice little gap up over 1.7%. At one point, I think we almost went up to 2%. Believe it or not, we did not make a higher high today. Today, we made a high, right around 170. Oh, sorry, 181.75, and the previous high here was 181.76. So this was about to make a high just underneath 1 penny, and it couldn't do it. It just reversed back down and it gave up its gains. So right now, this does look like essentially your wave 2 extension. It appears now that it has started to reverse, but we will have solid confirmation that the wave 3 is in play once we get a move past these lows here, past a break past 177 will confirm it, right? And that's essentially like a drop down of 1.17%. But it's important to remember that this isn't the only scenario that's playing out at the moment. We could have a more bullish scenario in play. Is that we would take out this high, and the IWM would extend higher, along with the S&P and the Nasdaq, and basically all the indices would keep breaking out, just going straight up in a straight line. So there is that. But overall, we have the PCE data coming out tomorrow at 8:30. That's going to be pretty pivotal, piece of information for the markets. I think they're going to be there's either going to be lots of buying or lots of selling, all depending on if it comes hotter than expected or better than expected. Obviously, better than expected would probably prop up the markets, and worse than you could get a pretty dramatic sell-off maybe. And then you have Jerome Powell talking on December 1st, this Friday. He's going to be doing a big speech, big conference at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Anyways, let's get into it here. So right now, we got another nice rejection from the sell area on the IWM. You basically almost made another high, but it was off by a penny. So technically, if we're going off, technicals here, it's technically still valid. This pattern is still valid. This should be a 1, a wave 2, and now you should be coming down in wave 3. Okay, so this is basically a C wave extension here. Maybe a 1, 2, 3. Oh, maybe it could do another high, right? So maybe we'll do one more wave up, or maybe I'm just counting this wrong, right? But overall, that doesn't really matter. Those are the smaller time frames. What's important is we got a nice little rejection today, and if this is going to play out, that we need to maintain the downwards momentum, right? Which right now, we've been making higher lows, so the price is trying to break out. It is trying. We'll take a look at the SPY here. So the SPY actually had a very nice gap up this morning, along with everything else. The daily time frame closed back underneath this trend line here. So this was a failed breakout. Like yesterday and like the days before, there have been attempts to break out. This one closed above, but this was like Friday, November 23rd, extremely light volume. I believe it was like 29 million shares traded. So again, yeah, very, very light volume. Today was 63 million, still very light. Once we start to come back down, and we get a lot of candle closes below here, essentially a break below 454, then you'll have confirmation that we're starting to get our correction, and that could either happen this week in the next couple of days, or it could bleed into next week, the first week of December. And then we'll take a look at the Qs here. Essentially another high as well. The Qs have broken out past their July highs, which opens the door and the possibility that we could be going significantly higher in the market. So always keep an open mind that that's possible. And the Dow Jones also made it a bit of a nominal high as well. We just keep gapping up and starting to sell off on light volume, right? So there's a lot of people who are still buying. There's still lots of buyers. People have FOMO. They've missed out on these entire moves. They want to buy, so they're just starting to accumulate here. But if it fails, then they're gonna be holding these bags for quite a bit of time until they capitulate, and then we'll get a real capitulation if that happens. So overall, kind of the same thing. Take a look at the daily time frame here. We'll take a look at the futures, see if we got any new signs. So the daily showing a red dot on the small caps. Still in red money flow. Same thing for the one chart as well. The S&P 500 is printing a 10 and a minus. Is it a minus or is it just like a regular number? A 1 on the dual band strength index. You're still in red money flow, basically at the zero line, but you're in red money flow, right? Just a small amount. You can look at the smaller time frames, like the 4 hour. You're seeing a reduction in green money flow. So we made another nominal high today and a lower high on a momentum wave. So you're just building bearish divergence at the moment. So once this thing gets going, it could get going in a hurry towards the downside, but we could also bounce very quickly as well, or maybe not, right? Since this move was so vertical, we may not have so much support on the way down. There was almost no resistance on the way up. There might not be any support on the way down. Then we'll take a look here. So the NASDAQ, similar thing, even more of a reduction in green money flow. So you are really starting to see momentum being lost here and money starting to leave. And this float here is basically trapping a lot of traders, a lot of people, in my opinion, that are just getting long the market now. And because they missed this whole move, right? So they're thinking that we're just going to consolidate and continue the pump up without any pullback, and that's mistaken. It could end really badly, right? But overall, that's what I think. It's right. So that's just my opinion. It's not financial advice. Always do what's best for you, and do your own research. Let's take a look here, and we'll take a look at the IWM on the futures on wave edge. So no new signals. 4 hour, nothing new here. 1 hour, nothing new here as well. No buying, no selling. I think the whoever's in the market already is just holding their positions and maybe getting ready for a big move, either towards the downside or towards the upside. But I'm favoring the downside, and again, you could say that I'm biased because I am holding shorts on the small caps, but and a few shorts across the market as well. But again, that's just me. Let's just take a look here at some individual names. Let's take a look at PayPal. So PayPal today completed its I think it's completed its cycle up. It could have finished its wave 4, which means we gapped up, we hit the sell area, and we came right back down. So right here, $60.13. That was the beginning, and then we entered it a bit, and it was just nonstop selling throughout the day. Right now, you could make this a 5-wave move, or right, you could maybe the 5 wave is already finished, and I miscounted it a bit. I really doubt it. But if this is finished like this, then this should start to come back down in a wave 4 like so, and PayPal should be headed down to retest the lows at $50, or come back down to even as low as $46 to as low as $39.71. But again, this target may not get hit for months or weeks, right? So this is a very large target of a bigger pattern, and it could take a very long time. And it doesn't even have to go there, right? We could already be finished wave 5, and this is just chop, and we're just building a new pattern to go higher. So again, there's a lot of possibilities, but this is the one that I'm following right now. And we did get rejected, right? So it looks like we could be finished here. I don't really see it, to be honest, because I don't see a wave 4, or maybe I'm counting it wrong. So We can get like on the like the small time frames, like the 10-minute. You could really say, like, if you're forcing it, you could say that this was your wave 4 and you're coming back in 5. But if this is wave 3 and this is wave 4, and you should be coming back to attack it one more time in wave 5. And I actually like this much better than I like the pattern that I just showed you. So if it were to play out, I would like it to do something like this, right? And come back up into 61 and 51 cents, which would be another like a 5 or 4% move. Yeah, 5 to 6% move towards the upside. And then you can pull back once again. ROKU, again, same thing. It actually went to the buy area and we tagged it and got rejected from there. So again, that's beautiful. Everything's playing out, as it should. It doesn't always, right? But when it does, it's really nice to see. And it shows you that Elliott wave does work, and it's a very good way and method of trading. So right now, that was your impulse up. You came up into resistance. Now you should start to come back down, right? You should start to come back down in wave 2 in an ABC correction, like so. So you'll probably come back down, and you could go as low as a 71 or even lower. So let's just say, let's just count this move up, right? We'll just measure it from, let's just say it's finished now. Then you can come back down to the 618 or the 786. I always like the 786, the 75% retracement. That's always a nice level. So again, you got many levels to go at from, but we'll really know once the ABC move starts, and you see the A move complete, and you're looking for the final leg in C. Then we can start to calculate it more precisely, right? Because then we can, I can draw a fib from where the A started, and then I can bring it down, and then I can calculate a target for you guys between like the 1.236 and the 1618. So again, you could have a buy area here, right, which is pretty similar to the 786 that the 786 on the larger fib that I just showed you. Okay, so that covers it for now. So ROKU should be finished here, but it could technically keep pushing higher into the resistance, or just chop sideways and then have a reversal. It doesn't always have to come back down right away. Apple is in the short area as well into this resistance. I can draw it out here for you guys. Just essentially a box. I think I had it before. I deleted it. So basically 192 192 should be essentially this area right there between 190 or 189. Yeah, something like that. I think I had it something like this. So that's your short area. So you can see that I can go in a little bit further, or maybe this was a larger resistance area that I had drawn to. But overall, you kind of get the picture. You should be finishing up now and starting to come back down. The 45 is showing that it's reset, but all the larger time frames are ready to go. Maybe not the 4 hour. The 4 hours come all the way down. So that's maybe why we could still get a pop back up towards the upside. But overall, I think we're overdone, and we should be coming back down. Same thing for Nvidia, Meta, and I believe Google as well should be finished. Google had a pretty big down day today as well. Nice bearish engulfing candle. All right, so I think that you guys kind of get the gist of it. We're gonna know more when we get the news tomorrow and the market opens and all the data comes out, and maybe that's the sell the news event that we've been waiting for. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's Jerome Powell, and maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's something else that we're waiting for that's even bigger to move the market. So there's no selling at the moment. Whoever is waiting to sell is waiting for the news event to panic people and to get everyone else emotional when the sell does start, and to sell all the positions that they shouldn't be selling, because that's how the market makers take away the money from the people who trade. They get them to get emotional and to lose and panic out of their positions, right? And then you get your ABC correction, or maybe it's going to be a 1-2, a 5-wave move like this. So that's when we're going to have to see if it's going to be a 5-wave move towards the downside or an ABC correction to new all-time highs, right? And then we're going to get the monthly close, which is going to be pretty important because we're going to have new monthly candles on the chart here. So right now, looking at the monthly time frame, the Nasdaq red dot has disappeared, which has saved the Nasdaq, which means we could still pull back but go higher, right? We could still go higher to new all-time highs. That's why the Nasdaq is trying to maybe give us some hints here. And then the S&P, was looking very bearish, and it's now reversing. Same thing for the Russell looks like shit still. 20 and a -2, very very bad, and even worse on the O end of the chart. It's a 21 and a -3, and then you're about to cut into red money flow. But again, a pump can save it, and it's kind of saved the markets for now. Dow Jones, same thing. We had very bearish numbers at the beginning of the month, and everything's starting to reverse now. But the overall, we are very extended. We're long in the tooth, and it's we're gonna need to pull back at some point. And when it does happen, just know that if you're buying here, then you could be in a lot of trouble. So yeah, that's basically it. I don't really have much to add. A dollar, found a little bit of footing today. We'll see if it holds. It should reverse here, and if it does, you'll probably get a big reversal in yields as well. You can see the 20-year yield actually is not holding out too well here. I had a level right around 4.68. That didn't hold. It looks like it came down to the 4.6 exactly, and then maybe we can go off that level too. This is a pretty good level as well. You have a nice pivot there. That's where the daily candle close was. These are just wicks. And then you had a pivot right there as well. And you got some consolidation. So again, overall, it's pretty good level, right? Not a bad level overall. So it looks like it's holding. But the RSI hasn't bottomed or hasn't gone into extreme oversold conditions. So you can go lower, right? You can go lower in yields before you get a big reversal and then you start to go back up. Okay, so I think that covers it for now. Hopefully this video helps you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow after the news. Peace.